What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Marvel edition of the Ragin Nation Show. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things matter me in the world of Marvel films. This is episode number 67, and we got a lot to talk about in this episode. We haven't done a Marvel update in a very long time. Just a little bit over a week. Probably, I don't know, like 9 or 10 days. There hasn't been an update. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to recap on some of the things that have been going on over on all the different studios producing Marvel films. That is, of course, the Marvel Studios and also 20th Century Fox. And what's been going on, and the reason why I've been absent is because I've just been catching up with all the convention craziness that has been going on. Over the last 2 or 3 weekends, there were a lot of conventions going on, and I attended Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle and also Fan Expo Vancouver, and of course Vancouver, and it was actually really cool to bump into fans of the Ragin Nation. I'm really happy to have met some of you guys in person. I want to say what's up to Todd, to Mason, to Sydney, to Ali. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for stopping me and taking a photo with me. That was really, really cool. And also to everybody else that I met and didn't get a chance to mention, thank you for at least stopping me to say hi and mentioning to me that you watched the Ragin Nation videos. Thanks a lot for all your support, and it was good to give you guys a fist bump. So thanks a lot. Anyways, so let's talk about, or rather let's get on with this update, because this is a big one. Alright, let's start off with talking about 20th Century Fox, and that would be with regards to Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is coming soon this summer, and we got introduced to a couple of new images, and what I'm most looking forward to is some images of the Thing, and we're getting that because in this update we got images, new images of the Fantastic Four in their containment suits. All right, I'm not sure if this is an alien environment or they're on Earth, but you know, why would they be wearing containment suits on Earth? So it must be an alien environment. Next we have Miles Teller as Mr. Fantastic. Look at that crazy suit that he's wearing. He's got like all kinds of wires and stuff on it. Here is a it could be Doctor Doom. You know, they could be experimenting on him, and that's where he goes haywire. But next, here's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for an official image, a clear image of the Thing. This is what the Thing looks like, okay? And I am happy with the way he looks. He looks big, and he looks exactly the way I would want him to look, okay? Now, here's another shot of the Thing in Entertainment Weekly magazine. He looks great, and he looks like the way the Thing should look. Not some dude in a rubber suit, or rather a foam suit. Okay, so I'm very happy with the way it looks. This looks promising. Looking forward to it. Okay, now moving on. What's going on in 20th Century Fox is, of course, also X-Men Apocalypse, and there's been a lot of casting announcements lately. And well, you know what? We're getting more and more members, mutant members, added to the cast. Okay, first of all, you guys saw that concept art that Bryan Singer tweeted. That showed us, or rather teased us, the fact that Angel's going to be in it, okay? It showed us the big wings. Now, he just tweeted some more concept art that actually 100% confirms that Angel will be in it, and he will be played by Ben Hardy. And here's that concept art right here, and here he is without the wings, in a suit. Here he is with the wings all spread out. Looks really, really cool, and I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, we got Jubilee, we got Nightcrawler, and we also got Angel, okay? And they're going to be all played by younger actors because we're seeing the younger versions of those actors. But we are getting an introduction, or rather another mutant that is being brought on. But it won't be a younger version of that character. And that would be Psylocke. Another fan favorite. She's definitely a character I do want to see. But she will be played by Olivia Munn, who I'm not a big fan of. I don't think she's a very good actress. And another thing is that I was expecting Psylocke to at least be a younger version that'll match the age of these other young mutants. So it's kind of interesting how Bryan Singer decided to, you know, take it to that direction. We're getting a mix of the young mutants as well as some of the more older mutants, alright? Because Olivia Munn ain't young, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, not my first choice, but they have at least confirmed her appearance and who's going to be playing her. Okay, moving on, we got to talk about Deadpool. Deadpool is, of course, filming in Vancouver right now as we speak. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. And over the last week, there was filming being done at the Georgia Viaduct in Vancouver. If you don't know what that is, that's this overpass that takes you from East Vancouver into downtown Vancouver, and they closed it off for a major action sequence. And this sequence took over the course of a week to film, and thankfully there was good weather, except for the last days of filming, which rained a little bit, but it was pretty action-packed. Now, I wasn't there. I thought that I would bring myself out there to see it, but a lot of people took some really great high resolution photos, very clear, and I got to see everything even better on my computer screen. Okay, just looking at these photos. Okay, we saw a sequence where Deadpool is, of course, Deadpool. Wade Wilson is Deadpool in the full costume. The costume looks great, by the way. Okay, and by the way, that is Ryan Reynolds underneath that costume, not some stunt double. Okay, it was a sequence involving guns with samurai swords, or rather katanas, flipped cars. And also, we get our first look at Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is a ridiculous name, but they're both in it. Okay, so this is a major sequence, and like I said, it involves a Deadpool, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and so it could be one of the major sequences in the film. All right. Anyways, moving on, let us talk about what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, this is where we got to talk about the big news, okay? Because obviously there are less than 20 days before Avengers Age of Ultron comes out. The cast and crew is making the press rounds right now. So we're going to be seeing a lot of reveals, a lot of TV spots, a lot of promotional material. There's already a lot of clips that I'm not even going to watch. I've posted them, but I'm not even going to watch them. You can watch them if you want to, but I'm not going to watch them because I don't want to spoil anything. The movie is like 2 weeks away from now, so I'm going to save the best for the actual movie itself. But anyways, so Age of Ultron. It's been watched. People have watched it. Critics have seen it, okay? But they're not allowed to post anything about it, okay? At least not for now, okay? They gotta wait a bit before anything can be shared. You're allowed to tweet about it, but you can only tweet about it like in like a couple of lines. For example, it was awesome, or it was mind-blowing, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, with regards to Marvel Cinematic Universe, let's just start off by talking about the fact that the Ant-Man full theatrical trailer has been released, and it was awesome. Here's my reaction. And you know what? The gist of it is that it was funny. Okay, it looks fun. You know, it gives me the same feeling that I get when I watch the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. Okay, it's Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. Very funny. Paul Rudd also has that comic timing. I think that the atmosphere and the vibe that we're gonna get from Ant-Man is the same feeling that we're gonna get, that we also got from Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna be that same kind of vibe, and I'm happy with that. Okay, and what I'm really happy about is the fact that this looks great. A lot of people, like everybody that I've talked to, okay, and you know, like there's a handful of people, told me that the idea just sounds dumb. The idea of Ant-Man sounds dumb. I never once thought it was done. I thought it's exactly what Marvel Studios needs to introduce, because we've seen Iron Man, we've seen Thor, we've seen Captain America, we've seen Hulk, we've seen them all together in one film, and we've seen them again and again, okay? So let's bring in something new. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy totally worked. Ant-Man feels fresh. We need to see this type of superhero, and I'm also excited to see how like these tiny guys are going to do battle, both in in their size, and also when we see it from our perspective as real size humans. It's not going to look like anything. Therefore, that's where the comedy comes in, as you've seen in the trailer. Really excited about that. We see Yellow Jacket in there, and man, that's going to make for a really great looking, I mean, it just looks cool. It looks like it's going to be make for a great looking costume, as well as a great action figure that we're going to be most likely be getting from Hot Toys. Anyways, so that's what's going on with Ant-Man. Let's move on and talk about Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange will be filming in November. Okay, that's this year, because they got to get their movie ready. Okay, so Benedict Cumberbatch, getting ready to play the Doctor himself, Doctor Strange. It will be filming in November. Speaking of filming, Captain America Civil War will begin shooting next month. Speaking of shooting, what's really, really exciting, at least for me, is that they're going to be shooting with the all-new IMAX 2D digital cameras. Okay? Now, why is that exciting to me? Because all the films that we've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been post-converted, or not post-converted. They've been using the IMAX DMR process, which means digital media remastering. Which means that even though the screen is bigger, they remaster it so that you know, the film still looks really, really clear. Okay, and looks crystal clear, even though they've expanded the picture quality. All right, so they've never actually filmed with IMAX cameras ever. Okay, all they've been doing was DMR and post conversions. Okay, they've never even shot in 3D. Okay, even Guardians of the Galaxy, which was presented in IMAX with the big expanding screen, that was actually all like it was. That was done without IMAX cameras. Okay, 3D post conversion and IMAX DMR. Now they're actually filming with IMAX 2D digital cameras. Now, what's the big deal? IMAX 2D? These are IMAX 2D digital cameras. IMAX 2D cameras have always been with film. Okay, hence 70mm, okay, the large format, okay. Now it's being done with digital, you know, in the digital format, which is fantastic. It's state of the art, and I'm really excited about that. Now the IMAX 2D a sequence will only account for 15 minutes of the film, 15 minutes of the movie. Now you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? 15 minutes? 15 minutes of IMAX footage in you know, in a Marvel Cinematic Universe film action sequence, that is going to be huge. So they said that even though it counts for 15 minutes of the movie, it is going to be a huge 15 minutes of the movie, okay? And of course, it will be post-converted to 3D, which will most likely look very, very spectacular. So really, really excited about that. Speaking of Civil War, Frank Grillo tweeted that he's ready to rock, okay? In a tweet where he obviously is referring to Civil War, he says a hashtag Civil War is on the horizon, and it's going to be a free-for-all. Frank Grillo's character is coming back, and he's coming back as, of course, Crossbones. I almost said Punisher. Crossbones. He's coming back as Crossbones. And that is very, very exciting because Frank Grillo is actually an actor who I really, really like. I really enjoy his performances, and I liked him in Civil War, and I'm really excited to see him come back and do battle with Captain America. Very, very exciting stuff. Let's move on and talk about Spider-Man. Alright, so obviously you guys know that Spider-Man is going to be coming into, or rather introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was a really, really big thing. Sony and Disney came to the, or Marvel Studios came to an agreement, and therefore Sony will be lending out their famous superhero character to Marvel Studios, and therefore they can make money together. Alright, so fans are very, very happy. Obviously Stan Lee and Kevin Feige are very, very happy. Robert Downey Jr. himself, he's really happy to have that element into the mix. And, well, Kevin Feige decided to chime in and talk about the Spider-Man movie, and it will not be an origin story, which is great. We don't need to go through that again. We've gone through it twice. Okay, so thank you very much for not being an origin story. He's going to already be Spider-Man. Peter Parker will already be Spider-Man. Okay, speaking of Peter Parker, he's going to be in his teenage high school years. Okay, and there's going to be a lot of humor, according to Kevin Feige. And that is cool. I like a lot of humor. If you don't already notice, a lot of these films are very, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, very lighthearted, very funny, a lot of humor. Okay, it keeps the audience very, very entertained. Okay, we're laughing, we're thrilled. You know, there's a lot of great moments. Okay. DC Cinematic Universe, complete opposite. Very, very serious. And that's the tone they want to go with, okay? They don't want to feel like their films are like the Marvel films, so there's going to be that contrast, okay? As for the future of Spider-Man, after his appearance in 2017, well, Kevin Feige actually mentioned that we can expect to see Spider-Man appearing in Marvel Cinematic Universe films for the next 4 to 5 years. Those weren't his exact words. He actually said that the plan was for 4 to 5 years, which already suggests that he's going to appear in Infinity War. Okay, that's like no doubt right there. He's gonna appear in Infinity War. I mean, it's all about the whole like Ultimate Avengers concept. Okay, so if you want to bring in the Ultimate Avengers concept, you got to bring him into Infinity War. Okay, so that's what's happening. Okay. Really, really exciting stuff. 2018 and 2019 is going to be explosive, okay, because of Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Alright, moving on, let's talk about Hulk, okay? What's going on with Hulk? We are only seeing him in Age of Ultron. He got a solo film, you know, many years ago. We saw him in the first Avengers, and now we're going to see him in Avengers Age of Ultron. What is the future of the Hulk, okay? Well, now, every time there was talk, or rather fans wanted to ask, when are we going to see a solo Hulk film with Mark Ruffalo? Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios executives always mentioned that there are no plans for it. It's just not in their slate. It's not in their calendar. Now, a lot of people want to know why. Why isn't that? There's so much potential. Planet Hulk, you know, more Hulk stories. There's so much they can do with the character, all right? But they totally avoid the question by talking about the fact that they just don't have plans. That's their answer every single time. Now we got to the bottom of the reason why there's not going to be these movies, and that is because Universal Pictures still actually owns the rights for solo Hulk films. Isn't that crazy? So if there's going to be a solo Hulk film, then Mark Ruffalo will be working on solo Hulk films for Universal Pictures. But I don't know if that, you know, his contract with Marvel allows him to do that, and therefore that's why there's no solo Hulk films going on. Universal Pictures still owns the rights to that. Okay, so that is unfortunate. As for more Hulk, well, you know what? The next time we see him could be Infinity War, you know, 1 and 2. And maybe appearing in the other films, who knows? But the fact is that he is signed on for more films, okay? Now let's talk about Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is going to be released on May 1st. I already got my tickets for April 30th and May 1st. Super, super excited, okay? Joss Whedon recently revealed that the original cut of Age of Ultron was 3.5 hours long. Can you imagine 3.5 hours of the Avengers? That's going to be crazy, okay? He also mentioned that he's done with Marvel films after Age of Ultron. He's done directing Marvel films after Age of Ultron. He was already reluctant about directing Age of Ultron. Well, now that he's done it, he feels that it's time to move on to work on other projects. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be a producer. Being a producer, you know, along with the many other producers in the film, is less of such a task, because as a director you got to be there all day, you know, for the entire process. It's a very, very demanding task, especially when you're working in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's not going to be a part of it, but we still might see his fingerprints in future films when he serves as a producer, okay? Now, from this point on, I am going to talk about minor spoilerific stuff. So I'm done talking about the news and updates. Let's talk about spoilers. If you want to not hear about spoilers, stop the video right now, because this is kind of minor, but it still could spoil it for you. Alright, so now Kevin Feige actually recently revealed that there is a scene that we saw in the trailer that we will not be seeing in Avengers Age of Ultron. It's this shot right here. It is a mysterious woman that a lot of people speculated on who it's supposed to be. That shot is actually not in the film. That shot ended up in the cutting room floor. Remember I said it was going to be 3.5 hours long for the original uncut version? Well, that is part of that 70 minutes that was cut out of the film, okay? So, apparently, that was a dream sequence. It's just imagery when Thor was having a dream about his netherworld, and so that woman holds no significance to the actual story, okay? It was just some imagery that they wanted to use in the trailer to provoke some fanboy discussion, but it actually isn't in the film, okay? Now, another spoiler, minor spoiler, is that we will see Spider-Man in Civil War, okay? We will not be seeing Captain Marvel in Age of Ultron, but there's a very high chance we will be seeing Captain Marvel in Civil War. That will be her introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But for sure, Spider-Man will appear in Civil War. Apparently, that was always the plan. Now, the final spoiler that I have for you, kind of minor, is that Hulk could possibly appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Okay, possibly to tie in with the whole Planet Hulk story. Yeah, sources are saying that, you know, we will see more Hulk after Age of Ultron, and his first appearance will most likely be Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in 2017, which is only 2 years from now. So that's really, really exciting, okay? So there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. This was a big update, a major update. We talked about a lot of stuff, but you know what? I'm really excited about all of it, okay? This is where it's at, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also what's going on at 20th Century Fox. Really, really exciting stuff. If you want to comment on anything that I talked about, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. One last job is because of family. It's a theme. It's a recurring theme. Okay, it's constantly reminded to the audience. Okay.